Redskins Nation, get Moolah back at it for another year. Here at work. Might make this video real fast. Redskins Nation all day, every day. You know how we do. You know, been off for a minute. Just enjoying the summer. Enjoying life away from football. My little girl's back in school. So, kindergarten. Got my Sunday ticket ready to go, and we're ready for some football. Anyways, you already know what's up with the preseason. You already know what's up. We got RG3, we got Pierre Gasson, we got a few other wide receivers now. The running back is still, a little, iffy, but any running back under Mike Shanahan, I'm confident with Mike Shanahan's running game. That ain't the problem, The problem was the quarterback, so if we could all get it all together, we good. And you already know the defense. The defense is, top notch. The defense is, ever since I can remember, our defense has never been a problem. It's always our offense. The last two seasons, most of the times we didn't get blew out because of our defense. And when we did get blew out, it was already in the fourth quarter somewhat. When our defense just gave up. They couldn't take it no more, and they just gave up points. But if you really go back to the last two seasons, maybe out of the whole two seasons, maybe there was like 3 or 4 games that really got away from us from the start. One of them being Michael Vick when he killed us on Monday night. But enough about that. I'm just saying our defense is as tough as nails. They ain't going nowhere. And they're going to continue to excel this year. Another belt. Another year under their belt. Under that scheme they're running now in DC. And we get on to the Saints, the New Orleans Saints. One thing I can guarantee you about this weekend in the NFL is that the Saints Stadium is going to be the loudest stadium in football. The crowd is going to be crazy. It's going to be like nothing RG3 has ever seen before. And he has to just go in there and again stay poised. He has to go in there and not expecting him to be a Hall of Famer, not expecting him to be a franchise quarterback. This game right away. I just expect him to just run the team the way he's supposed to, and just stay cool. And stay breeze. Stay keep that breeze. Just chill, just stay calm out there. You're going to go out there, you're going to do your mistake, okay? As soon as you do that mistake, throw it all out the window and just play football, just continue being yourself, continue doing the things that brought you here. That's one key to the game, how RG3 performs. It's going to be crucial because we need him, We have our franchise quarterback now, and he needs to step up, this game, and it's a good challenge for him. Another key to the game is our defense versus Drew Brees. How are we going to stop Drew Brees, from really, really killing our secondary? Our front seven has to get to Drew Brees. They have to get there fast and often in order for us to even think about being anywhere near close at the end of the game to have an upset. Or, just to keep them, somewhere in the reachable area during the course of the game. We can't let them slip up. So that's the key right there, our defense versus Drew Brees. At this point, I don't want to say they're a one-man team because they are very, very depleted. But Drew Brees does make that wagon, go, circle, whatever you want to call it. He makes that engine go. So you have to, you have to get him under control. I'm not expecting us to completely dominate him and stop him, but we have to, burst his bubble a few times. So that's a couple of keys right there with Mr. RG3. See how he does in his first game. I'm confident our defense is going to do what they have to do. The only problem is our secondary. Hopefully they don't have too many mistakes. And the last key to the game is Fred Davis attacking their secondary. Nobody really talks about, about this key right here. Nobody really brings it up, but I'm expecting Fred Davis to have a monster game. I'm expecting him to have about 6, 7 catches, maybe somewhere in the 80 yard range, and having probably a touchdown. I really expect him to cause havoc out there without Chris Cooley. We're putting all our chips on him, and I think he's ready to go. I think he's ready to show the last 4 games that he was suspended are behind him, and he's ready to move on, and he's ready to get a fat check in DZ. But he has to prove it. So, like I said, Fred Davis, he needs to step up against that secondary because they're going to be so focused on the play action and RG3 trying to scramble away and Pierre Garçon and Santana Moss in the slot that Fred Davis is probably going to get one-on-one coverage with the linebackers, and he has to win those every single down. Every single down, Mr. Fred Davis has to win that. So if that happens, we could come out with a victory. Fred Davis attacking their secondary, attacking their linebackers, just attacking that defense and being a monster is going to help us. And whoever guards him is probably going to be one-on-one coverage, and he could basically, do the beast. So, we'll see what's up with that. And stopping Drew Brees, controlling Drew Brees, we're not going to completely stop him, but go ahead and control. Control his moving around, and when you rush him, you can't really rush him through the outside, because if you rush him with the outside rushers, which would happen is that he goes up inside and he slings it like he always does. You know what I'm saying? Drew Brees does that so nice. When he feels the pressure coming from the edges and he steps up and boom, he finds somebody. So what you got to do is you got to attack him from the middle. So when you attack him from the middle, you knock the ball down. And not only do you knock the ball down, he's short, so you mess up his view. You got him rattled and scrambling, so you got to check on that. And Mr. RG3's first game, he has to show us that that he's worth a top 2 pick in the NFL. He's worth 3 first-round picks. Like I said, I'm not expecting that dude to be amazing because he's not going to have to be amazing. Our defense could back us up. Our defense is not going to allow all that. So, we'll see what happens. But other than that, man, I'm back. I'm happy. I'm going to continue making videos all year. Redskins all day, they got to do it, and we'll see what happens. All right, man, peace.